It is game week, but that does not mean the Coach Prime and the boys are taking any time off. They beef up the line. You got to with Julian Lewis coming in, already practicing with the squad. Love to see it. We're going to talk about the commitment. Also, another one could be happening later this week. We'll talk about that. Talk about BYU. It's game week, baby. We got a game on Saturday. I love it. Feels somewhat normal, kind of, sort of. And we'll talk about the transfer portal too, because it's going to get poppy here in just a little bit. Smash the like button, subscribe, and let's get into it, baby. Come on. Nothing fires me up more when the intro just kind of just pops like that. You know, it just gets me rolling. Listen, y'all know the comments get at me at times like, hey, you need to learn how to pronounce these young men's names, and I completely agree. Like I do my best to learn how to pronounce these names properly. Okay, but I have my slip up. I pronounce prowess wrong the other day. Right? It happens from time to time. What do you want me to do? I'm going to do my best, but y'all going to yell at me. I can look at the breakdown of pronunciation. I'm still going to mess it up. Like, it's just not in my forte at times. Inside offensive line from Texas A&M, Akinola Ogunbiye. We're going to leave it at that. Let's talk about the pickup, though. So, coming out of high school, 4-star recruit in the portal, looking at as a transfer, right around 3 stars. 6'4", 350 pounds, redshirt senior from the 2020 class. Has about 8 starts under his belt, so not a lot on film. Nothing big takeaways. I will kind of say that he's kind of grown through a time where A&M going through Jimbo Fisher, then on to Elko. You know, sometimes these guys, again, the offense changes, and offensive line takes some time to grow. He's growing in this A&M offense. Was recruited by Jimbo, then gets switched to Elko, which was a little bit of a different style of offensive play. So sometimes that plays a factor, right? Redshirt senior, again, a lot of experience under his belt of just at least taking reps. Again, he only started 8 games. I mean, he only played 8 games, just started in 8 games. So really interested to see how he'll factor into this and play for the Buffs. I think he'll be a great fill-in role, or even, who knows, maybe he has a great offseason. So we'll continue. We'll look more into him as it gets closer to. Once we finalize the entire portal and close everything down and see where the roster settles at, we'll give a full synopsis of like, hey, here are my thoughts. Here's who I believe will start, play, etc. We did it last year. I think we were somewhat accurate. I had more expectations for Yakiri Walker. That didn't really pan out like I thought it would. And again, we never know. We don't know how these guys are going to go into camp and how they're going to adjust to everything and fit into that motion. So we'll see. I mean, he could come in and be an absolute stud for the Buffs. I mean, think about Cash Cleveland, was a walk-on from IMG and played center and just really kind of found himself, right? So maybe a little bit of under loadout could be a big thing for him. So I'm not going to get too worked up about it or, anything like that, but I think it's a great pickup for the Buffs. Again, O-line, you can never have too many guys, especially with size and experience, and somebody who's a redshirt senior, plenty of experience under his belt, whether he didn't start every single game. I'm sure he still played and had some impacts, and A&M spending some money all over the damn place, so it doesn't surprise me. But this one kind of came from, I didn't hear much about this young man I didn't even know he entered the portal, to be honest with you. He ranked in the transfer portal for the offensive line, inside offensive line, 103rd. For nationally, he ranked 1,400th. So, look, down the list in the sense of kind of top product, but could come in and be a huge factor and a great depth piece, is my belief on that. So, it's also, again, BYU week, beat BYU week. I'm really excited to see this game. And I said before the show, I talked about it a little bit. I even said this during the recruiting class. What's great about a bowl game? What's so fantastic is not only does a team get to practice together for more reps, right? Even though you are losing some guys to the NFL, you already lost a few to the portal. To me, it's a glorified spring game, okay? It's an expedition. Like, don't think anything more than that. Of course, the Buffs would love to go out on a W. It's great to win those bowl games. Don't get it twisted. I don't think they're going to go in there limping around. But last thing you want to do is any major injuries. But Julian Lewis has been practicing with the team. He's already practicing with Shador. So just shows how important it was to get these guys locked in and recruited, and how important the bowl game has become, because these are very important reps. These are 10 to 15 more reps that they have that they wouldn't have. And now when they show up in spring, there's some familiarity there, right? There's not a learning curve. They get it out of the way now. And I'm telling you that any little edge that you have in this sport carries over. It's massive. It's huge. So I love that. Again, this show is brought to you by BetUS. You see what the spread is. We've been talking about it all last couple of weeks here. I love the Buffs -3 all day, every day. Everyone seems to be rocking and rolling. We'll be playing here. And they just arrived in Texas. They're already there. Already ready to rock and roll. Left today. So they're dialed in. When you go to betus.com, use the code YouTube150. You get back 150%. And on your next two deposits, you get back $125 up to $2,000. So be sure to check out BetUS. We've been partnering with them all season long. A huge shout out for them to power this show. We really appreciate their love and support. The other information we're going to talk about is the safety from FAU, I believe it. No, USF, excuse me. Safety Tawfiq Bayrad, who has completed all of his visits, and he'll be making a final decision between Colorado, LSU, and Vanderbilt sometime this week. So I think this will be a great pickup for the Buffs if they're able to lock this in. Now, we talked about Coach Prime. He said, hey, we feel pretty confident of who we spoke to. So could this be one of them? Also, we've kind of been talking about it. I've been telling you about how these teams, that have lost, right? 2 to 3 Tennessee players entered into the portal over the last 48 hours. Could you expect some more? I'd expect Clemson probably to lose a few. Or look, a lot of what's happening right now, just keep in mind, things that Colorado and other teams that are, and that is a series of a bowl game or a playoff game, the things they've been going through, kind of pushing people out or having conversations or, figuring these things out. These teams that were in playoffs put these conversations off. So they're starting to have them now. And so over the next 4 to 5 days, those will be happening. And again, teams that lost on Saturday, they have a week. So it's going to be 1 day longer, right? Then we have next Wednesday and Thursday, the other section of the bowl game. Then we'll get 4 more teams from that round robin of games as well, too. So the portal, I keep saying this, is not really closed on the 28th. It's going to be well into January before it's officially where guys are really off the board. And who knows? There could be some firings. There could be retirement, kind of like the Nick Saban thing situation that happened last year, right? Where the coach leaves or gets fired. That also opens up another 30 days for that particular team. So it's ever flowing, right? It's always moving. We've talked about that, and we've been monitoring it. So it feels different this time, and it's because it is different. It's way different than last time. So I wouldn't panic about anything too soon. Let it come to a complete. I would say around February. And again, there's another signing date in February too. So just keep, honestly, until March, that's when you could probably do a full synopsis of the roster. Full grade of kind of the portal movement, class, all those things, because that's when it kind of fully settles in and you start transitioning into, all right, let's get into spring. And then there's a second spring portal too for only a week. So the season is never really ending anymore. And it makes it fun and exciting because there's always something to talk about. But you can never really get a true grasp of what team you're going to be rolling into come August and probably till June, because you get through the sport. There was a lot of guys that left last year after the spring game. They played in the spring game, got a few offers, and they're out of there. So that's something to keep in mind too. And again, it's going to be fun to monitor and talk about it. We'll have a pretty good idea come February. But there's always pieces that could be moved around and continue to be pushed around. So smash the like button, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this pickup down below. If you can put the pronunciation of his name in there, I would appreciate it so I can learn his name better and so I can try to say it better next time. Like, I'm not trying to. I would love to be better at this. I practice it very much. I still, when I'm rolling, though, it's hard to do it at times. Just being honest with you, boys and girls. So smash the like button, subscribe. Of course, the show is brought to you by BetUS. Hopefully we'll see you guys soon with another big pickup. If not, have yourselves a Merry Christmas, but we'll try to do a show tomorrow with one last little update before the portal, if I can. It's family time. We've been traveling today, so y'all be good, though. Peace and love.